The gender pay gap measures the difference in average hourly pay between men and women.
According to Fortune magazine, women would have to work up until today, March 24th, 2021, to make the same amount as their male counterparts did by the end of 2020. So to put that into perspective, it takes almost 15 months for women to earn what men make in just 12. To mark Equal Pay Day, the President and First Lady will host members of the U.S. women's national soccer team. You'll recall the team previously sued U.S. Soccer over alleged gender discrimination, with fans backing their support for equal pay.
When asked to highlight some of the trends in relation to the difference in pay according to gender she has noticed throughout her career, Dr. Winter Parks said,
in my life as a sports athlete, my former life as a sports athlete, what I did notice was that when women were getting the sports contracts, like the sponsorship endorsements, versus the males were always paid in relation to their talent. Whereas the women at the very, very top, the ones that were producing all the medals and so on, sure, the talent was, equitable. And even then, they might get less than their peer, their male peer. But women were also being hired or paid for the endorsements in terms of like object status, like how they would be looking for this product. Maybe in some cases more so than the talent. And then usually paid less. If you're talking about just measuring the talent, if a female person had just as many championships or titles as a male, the male would usually have a higher wage or a higher pay structure. Sometimes that gets complicated with what we now know as intersectionality. That if it was a female that's also not white, then she could be paid or was likely paid less. Had to really come with her A game for negotiating and knowing what her counterpart in the male, and also her counterpart like females that were white athletes would. So that's in athletics.
Although the wage gaps across all industries have narrowed over the past few decades, almost all professions still pay women less than their male counterparts. Men and women with the same amount of experience in the medical field submitted salary data to a research study. Researchers estimated from this data that over a 40-year career, male physicians earned an average of $8.3 million, while women made roughly $6.3 million, a nearly 25% difference. When asked why trends like this are damaging to women, Dr. Winter Parks said,
because it sends the message that women are less than, that the work that we're doing is not as important, and so it's not a hard leap to imagine that if that message is constantly given, that it's damaging to us and to our psyche, we might actually believe it. It's hard to. You have to have a lot of sense of self to not believe it.
Hope Solo of the U.S. Soccer women's team stated that the men's team get paid more to just show up than we get paid to win a major championship. She mentioned this during the women's team's 6-year equal pay battle with the U.S. Soccer. This is yet one example of the gender wage gaps that occur today. When asked if it is important to correct gender wage gaps and why, Dr. Winter Parks said,
I do, in a general sense, think that it is important. I think my answer is when a woman is doing the exact same job and doing it in the same way, or like for being rewarded for the exact same accomplishments, that those rewards and that pay structure should be the same. It should be equitable. But equity is a very difficult thing to measure. So all the context for everything being all equal, yes, that's my general answer. Yeah.
Wage gaps could be narrowed by a number of professional policy changes. These changes could include more paid family leave, making salaries more transparent, and eliminating basing salary off of someone's salary history. There are many other things that could combat the issue of gender wage gaps, but these are a good start.